Hey everyone, today we're going to do a fish room tour of my newest fish room here. Over the last few weeks we've been moving things around and setting more things up, so there's a lot to look at here. I figured I'd turn off the air pumps and just go through it tank by tank and show you guys what we're working with here. Start right by the entrance to the fish room there. That's the door we're looking at. I've got a rack of smaller tanks, 2.5s on top and 10s on the bottom. In the up top here at the first tank, there are some Endlers we're working on. We bred out some rainbow Endlers for a couple generations that we got from the wet spot, and starting to get some cool different looking ones, so been pulling some out and setting them up on their own. Next we have some Gardenier Aquariums that we got yesterday. I forget what the locale is, I have it written down, but they're still fairly new, so I have time to memorize it. These are the orange Australia killifish. This male was super dark. He's even borderline red, but we picked them up at the auction this weekend along with that other pair. Next tank here we have some Endler fry. Might be hard to see them because they're all at the back for some reason, but here's one coming to the front. We picked up some Endlers recently at one of our local fish stores, and the female that we got was really pregnant, so I put her on her own to drop the fry, and that's them. These are some Pseudo McGill Gertrude rainbow fish, a nice little pair. I'm gonna try and collect some eggs from these guys soon. It seems like they've been breeding. The male's got some cool fins when he shows off for the female. Next here is an empty tank in all its glory. In this tank we have some Crypto Heroes cutter eye fry. They're cool Central American species. They don't get very big. I actually have a species profile video on them when I had them breeding, so I'll link that up above here in case you want to check it out. Next we're looking at one of the 10-gallon tanks here. I have about 7 or 8 albino bristlenose fry that were my keepers from my last batch. I got rid of all my adult fish and stuff in the move this summer, so I had planned to keep batches of fry from each species that I wanted to still keep in the future, which was the albino bristlenose and some other species. There's also some Endler fry in here. It'll be a common theme on this rack here. We've got quite a few Endlers and Endler fry. The next tank here, this is some red shoulder severums. They're F1 from Rio Nanai. I just got them from aficionados here locally, and I've had them probably about a month actually, and they've started growing. I've got them in there with some cutter eye fry around the same size as well, and they seem to be getting along nicely. Probably won't be able to see without me feeding, but there are also some L100 bristlenose fry. Those are the black bristlenose with really tiny white spots, almost ick-like, but really small. They look pretty cool. The next two tanks we have grow out Red Devil fry. These guys are pretty small still. They're only a few weeks old, but they're from my big guy, Big Papa. I'll link his video up above as well. He's a F1 from Rusty Wessel's stock. I also got him from aficionados. That's where I get the majority of my fish from, because we're lucky to have such a big wholesaler here locally in Winnipeg where I am. Next tank here we have some sailfin mollies. These were caught in the ditch in Florida. We've got 2 pairs in there, and then there's also at the back, don't know, you can kind of see in the reflection there's a pair of albino crebensi. I'll try and insert some B-roll once I get some good footage of them to add to this. There are about 20 or 30 Skiffia francesi in here. It's extinct in the wild Goodyead Care species that I was breeding for BAP. I just bapped them at the meeting over the weekend, so now the rest of these fry will be grow outs for the next generation to try and sustain here. Next to them is my main Endler tank. I've got the rainbow Endlers. All these females are from our rainbow Endler line. There's some males in there from the rainbow Endlers, and then I also added in a fancy Endler that I got from my local fish store. Figured I'd see what came of that. There's quite a few females in there, and there's quite a few fry that come of it, but we'll see if those added genetics will pop something cool into the mix. I figured with this line, these rainbow Endlers, they're already not pure, and they're already line bred and hybridized to become rainbow Endlers in the first place, that it wouldn't be much harm to just add some more genetics in there and see what happens. In this tank I've got some orange shrimp, or orange pumpkin shrimp. I just got these guys. You can barely see the one on the top of the wood there. I got a bag of 10, but I took 3 of them out because they weren't quite orange, and I put the rest of them in the tank here, and we'll see what comes of that. Again, for me, the way my BAP works, you're able to BAP a certain species 3 times when it's different color variants. So in this case, these are the Neocaridina davidi, same species as the cherry shrimp, which I've already BAP'd, but because they're a different color, the pumpkin color, I am able to collect points for them again. And on the end here, we have another empty tank. There'll be fry or something that'll need a tank, or something that needs to be separated, and it's always good to have a few of these kicking around. Sorry for the glare, it's pretty much inevitable when it comes to having a bunch of tanks in a small space like this. I could turn off each light and then turn them on as I'm filming the tanks, but the way my fish room's set up, that's a lot of work, so at the moment we just have to deal with it. But this here is my grow out tank for the bean eye and loiseli, feste, and cutter eye. Got a bunch of very nice looking fish in this tank. They're gonna be a handful as they get older and get more aggressive, but we'll see what I can do with them. The bean eye in particular are the ones I'm gonna try to spawn first, and then also the loisels. Big Papa's still kicking. I've got him in a 50-gallon tank right now because I have him split from his female. She's in one of these 10s over here, and what happens is when they spawn, they have a batch of fry and they do well, but after they spawn, or after I take fry from them, Big Papa's usually ready to go again, and Lil Mama needs a little time to recuperate. So right now I'm using the tank that I had them breed in for another pair of fish, and I have these two separated so that I can continue to feed her and get her some nourishment and replace what she lost laying those eggs before I introduce them back together. I don't know that I will introduce them back together in the near future because there isn't a huge market for red devils around here, and I've got lots of fry now, so we'll see what happens. In here I have my hybrid Texas cichlid. Nothing's changed with him. He's still just surviving and growing. There are some bristlenose plecos in his tank that are also growing out. Up here I've got some Guyanacara dekyra, as well as some Scyphia francesae in there as dithers for them. Here's the male. Sorry this tank's a little bit dark, but I'm waiting on buying some uniform lighting, and in the meantime making do with what I have kicking around here. Female is pretty nice. Hoping I can get that species spawning. Those are from Jim Cumming. The green snooks are doing well. I did get a spawn out of them, but the eggs seem to have gone bad, so they ate them, and they'll try again. Probably a couple weeks out, but nonetheless. Here we've got some convicts red devils in as dithers for a nice pair of Texas cichlids that I just got. Oh, look at that. They've got a spawn laid on the glass there. Cool. There's the dad in the front there. Females in the back. There's quite a few eggs spread out over there. There's the female there. Well, we'll see if we can get some fry out of that, because that was quick. I only set those up 3 days ago. Very cool. This tank here we have our angelfish and some Dicrosis filamentosa, dwarf South American cichlids. There's also some L201 plecos that we never see in there. Below that is our shell dweller tank. Another dark tank here, but I don't have the greatest lighting. They're fun species to watch. Here we've got our Wesley cichlids, as well as our leucistic Honduran red points growing out. These two species do well together so far. We'll see when they get a little bit bigger though. Above them, we have our female dovi. Sorry for the algae. I didn't clean any glass or anything. She's just in a 4-foot, 55-gallon tank. And the male's above her in another 4-foot tank. I'll throw in some B-roll because the fish are hiding a little bit since I turned the air off to do this tour, so. These tanks on the ground are going to go up on a 3rd shelf here, about level with that window. I just have to build that out still. Otherwise, we've got the storage room here on the side. Gotta keep some spare equipment. Keep food. The main shelf there is kind of like my work table. Put anything down there I need. Bags, garbage, nets, towel, siphons, and these pickers. I use those pickers for some of these larger 90-gallon tanks. The way I design these lids is this large half doesn't come off and this piece slides back, so there's a bit of a gap where you can't really get your hands over, so it's nice to have something like that, a tool to be able to get at those spots with. I hope you enjoyed today's tour of the fish room. If you liked it, leave me a comment, let me know what your favorite was. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.